Today's in-depth review is of the Star Wars Force Awakens Elite Speeder Bike with Stormtrooper. So let's do this. First, start off with the packaging. It's absolutely mesmerizing. You have our Stormtrooper on the speeder bike. You see like the yellow streaks going through. He's going very fast. Red. He's firing off some bullets here. The artwork is just incredible. Whoever rendered this out makes you want to buy the toy. That is the whole point of the box art. On top, I actually find this quite interesting. Most of the toys say Star Wars The Force Awakens here on the bottom, and the older ones, like re-release figs of Luke and Darth Vader, just have the plain old Star Wars box. This is supposed to be from the new film. I don't know why they didn't put The Force Awakens on the bottom of the logo there. On the right, same old Kylo Ren. On the side here, pause it if you wish. On the back, amazing, looks straight out of the 90s. Elite speeder bike, same Star Wars logo. Actual promo image of the Stormtrooper with the bike, black and red. We'll get into that in a second. Reserved for the most experienced scouts and high-risk missions, these elite speeder bikes have been upgraded with heavy blasters and powerful new engines. It's multilingual. There's 4 different languages there. It saves Hasbro money. And a bunch of other promo images here on the right-hand side. Bottom, Disney, Hasbro, good old stuff. Everything's multilingual. Visit the website for more. On the bottom here, it shows you some more stuff to buy. Looks like deluxe figures of Chewbacca, Kylo Ren, and the Assault Walker, which I was going to buy, but I ended up not buying just yet. But that's okay. Bottom, there's the bottom. So let's open this guy up and see what it looks like, even though he already has been opened. So here's the Elite Speeder Bike. As you see, lots of black and red. Let's get into the figure. So here's this good old Stormtrooper helmet. You got the new First Order red striping, all black, looks very slick. This is actually a very shiny, glossy paint job. Looks pretty good for a 3 3/4 inch figure. You look at his armor, it has nice detailing. Ribs on the elbows, armor, hands, looks pretty nice. If you go to the side of her leg, she has a gun, not with an actual little holster, but it's actually attached to the leg. So bam, got his gun right there. It looks pretty good detailing wise. I mean, for a basic series figure, it's pretty decent. It's only one color, black. He's going to be riding his bike most of the time, so I don't think, unless you have him out and about pointing his gun at the rebel scum. Boots, all black. Looks like he has like dress boots, and then it goes up into the armor. Kind of interesting thing it's got going on there. Ribs right below the knee pads, then actual knee pads, and above the knee pads are ribs as well. It's actually really cool detailing. Belt, mid-abdomen armor on the back. Look, you got more detailing, a circle and 2 little lines right there. Tricep pads. While I'm trying to do this review, this gun keeps coming out. I guess that's one thing to note. You might lose it. I'm assuming over time also, if you keep putting this gun in here, it's going to come loose eventually. So try not to lose your gun. Overall, it's not bad. I believe this is not sold separately. You just get the regular Stormtrooper and the Flame Troopers. They are the all-white variants. The all-black guy here is not available, I believe, as a singular pack. So let's talk about the bike. The bike looks fairly good. The only cheap part, in my opinion, is this gray in the middle. If you look at the blasters, they look fairly decent. Ribs, detailing, the little exhaust circles. You got gray paint here with decent sculpt detailing as well as the bottom. Blasters on the bottom, that's where you put your signature trademarks. Lucasfilm, yada, yada, yada. Also a gun turret here on the bottom that rotates. Not really that greatly detailed or paint-wise, but it does rotate it. It gives it some extra playability. On the front, wings, red and black, good old stuff. Front view of the toy. Rotate over, mirror image on this other right side. Handles don't have any rib detailing at all on them. Some toys do. That one doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter if it grips on just fine. You see the center console here. Decent detailing. You have bolts around the buttons here, which are painted red. Gray console with more gray buttons here at the apex at the top. Bam! It looks like his seat, gray, just like Poe's seat in the X-Wing. On the back, you got like a button with a grill, all gray. Nice little detailing at the end of the sculpt. And then a blue bag, randomly contrasted blue bag on the whole piece. Back end, still cannot figure out what in the blue hell goes here. It did not come with an accessory, maybe like an exhaust flame or something. If you guys know, leave me a comment down below what is supposed to go in that back piece, that little Swiss cross there. But on the back, it's got some nice detailing with the exhaust in the back. Bolts for more, and it looks like crapola. And on the bottom here is like the new age feet of the speeder. So it kind of just like rests on the ground there. 2 at the back. And there is none at the front. Just these, I guess, it'll rest the little mid-wings here on the ground. Bottom, you got nice detailing, tubes, and looks like a fan, possibly for the engine. And the action feature that already fell apart on me is here. The gray piece comes apart from the back and middle here. It kind of just comes apart. There is no button release for it. So if you're playing, it might come off like it randomly came off for me for this review. So I guess play compatibility wise, it's not that great. It's fairly tight in there, but wiggling a little bit just like I did right now proves that it's not that well constructed in my opinion. So if I can actually go like that, it's okay for now. But over time it might become more loose and loose. So I'll put the Stormtrooper on the bike, and then we're going to compare it to a speeder bike from Return. And his gun fell out again. I just want to say for the record. Trying to put him on the bike, and his gun fell off on the side. I might be smart and just hold the gun off for now, and so we don't lose it for later. So it's funny, I just predicted that, and within 5 minutes, it already is giving me problems. Okay, I got him in. It takes a little bit of shimming to do, and I will recommend this to you. Arms go sliding top to bottom down on the handles. That is my way of doing it. It fits quite well. Then second, do the legs. Just like all action figures, standard come with a peg on the bottom. The speeder pegs here fit perfectly to the bottom of the feet, so the Stormtrooper does not move when you're shaking him and riding him through space and jungles or wherever in the film he's going to be going. So as a piece right here, it looks pretty sweet. It might, I don't know, scale-wise, I think the speeder might be a little too small. I'm not a Star Wars expert, but just looking at it right here, maybe as a diorama piece, it looks a little bit out of scale. So I'm actually going to flip this to my buddy Chris, who has a very, very awesome speeder from Return. And we're going to do a comparison here of the Force Awakens Elite speeder bike and the old speeder bike from the original saga.
So we have Leia on her speeder bike from Return of the Jedi. Certain things I like more about this than the other one. In particular, the paint job is a little better. They did a good job of recreating the crusty old look of the original Star Wars trilogy. They had all the, like the old, dirty, trashy look of space where everything looked used. This bike is better for a few reasons. As you can see, the one from Return of the Jedi is just a little bit longer. It's also slightly wider, and it feels heavier. Like, it's a lot more heavier. Now, I haven't seen Episode 7 yet, and I don't know if they ride the speeder bike standing up, but part of me feels like they might not. But, I mean, I haven't seen the film yet. For all I know, they're standing up. But in Return of the Jedi, they definitely sat down, and I like how Leia can actually sit down on her bike, and this guy is sort of like on a jet ski type deal. They might be standing up in the movie. I don't know for sure. By far, the thing that's better about the original compared to this is the feature in which it blows up. All you do is press this button, and I have to pretty much end the video on this because this whole thing's going to come apart. You can flip her like she just got blown up. All the pieces come apart, all three of them, and then you can put them back together. The thing about the button that's better is that while you're actually playing with it, there goes Leia, while you're actually playing with it, it'll all stay in one piece. You have to press a button for it to come apart. Whereas in this one, as Matt said, it just kind of comes off. I've been looking at this thing just like holding it, and I'll notice it starts to droop, and it's like, so that's probably the worst thing in regards to comparing them.
Also, the princess has articulated knees, so she can actually sit down on her bike, compared to the basic figure here does not have knee articulation. So they might be able to sit down in the new film, but Hasbro didn't give us that option, so we don't know yet until December 18th. So final thoughts. List price of $20. That's really not that bad. We don't know anything about the film just yet, so we don't know if he can actually sit down on his bike in the film. But for now, we just have to assume that he's standing. I obviously stinks that there's no button there to launch this into two pieces compared to the Return of the Jedi speeder bike with Leia. But I think the color scheme is pretty cool. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I think for $20 it's good. I like the Return of the Jedi one better specifically because of the paint job and because it feels like it's a more expensive toy, even though I'm pretty sure they're both the same price. The other one's obviously older, so inflation and all that jazz. But I like the new one as well, though. I mean, for its price point, it's perfectly fine. I think it looks really cool. The only thing I really don't like about it is the fact that you can't really detach it with a button. It kind of comes apart on its own. That sucks. But for the price point, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking 7 or 8. Let's go just solid 7. So yeah, that's it. In-depth review for you for the Elite speeder bike. We recommend you picking it up for the Force Awakens toy line. Film comes out December 18th. Pew pew!
One of the things I love about it is, just like the Millennium Falcon Snap Tight, the sound features. And that's my favorite one. And there's a red light up that occurs on the inside. But yeah, what I love about it compared to the older TIE Fighter is